Should we jump to the next Law and Order story? All right, here you go. You guys ready?
Justice system.
In the criminal justice system, stealing luggage from airports is considered
especially heinous. In New York City, the members of the Biden administration who commit these crimes are given raises.
Former Biden nuclear official arrested as fugitive of justice in luggage theft case.
My gosh.
Sam Brinton stole bag from airports in Minnesota and Nevada in 2022. He probably stole a lot more than that. Definitely. And they called him non-binary. I don't think he was non-binary. I think he's a kleptomaniac. And what he would do is he would steal their clothes and then wear them on camera because that gave him some kind of exhilaration. Like, 'cause this is what he would do. You can see here in these images, he's wearing the clothing he stole from these women. I don't think it's about wearing the women's clothing. I think it's about, imagine this. If you wore a suit, nobody would know that was a stolen suit.
Yeah.
You steal a suitcase, you find a suit, you put it on, you wear it on a show, and someone might be like, is that my suit? I can't tell. But then in the suitcase is a suit and is a frilly fancy dress with moons on it. And he's like, this
just wants you to know he stole it.
Yeah, no, for real. He wants to stand in front of everybody and scream, this is a stolen outfit that I am wearing, and smile as they clap for him.
Seems
and
healthy.
That's what does it for him.
Yeah.
That's what he gets. And the Biden administration is all about it.
Man, that's some sick fetish type stuff. You can be weird, but just don't be weird around our kids. Don't be weird, in public. Do whatever you want to do. This is America. It's freedom of, we have so many freedoms here. So do whatever you want to do behind closed door. Just don't do weird stuff in public.
And don't do weird stuff with my luggage.
Yeah,
right. Don't steal. That's all we're asking is like leave the kids alone and don't break laws.
Yeah,
dude. It's like,
is that too hard to ask?
When you get that little slip,
Apparently.
when you fly and get that little slip in your luggage that says you've been subjected to a random TSA search, you can't find your dress, you look on television, this guy's wearing it, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's literally what happened.
What was he did? He was like a nuclear regulation guy.
Yeah.
This is so weird. Like, why was he in the news? He wasn't like a prominent cabinet member.
Oh, just because of his non-binary status.
He was like a Biden appointment. I think he was a groundbreaking pick or something like that. It was a win for diversity, which makes us stronger.
Yeah.
Former nuclear waste expert for the Department of Energy. They were like, he's non-binary. It turned out he was just some kind of like klepto fetishist. What would you call that? Kleptophilia?
Something like that. Yeah, that's got to be
arousal
a thing.
from stealing.
Kleptophilia. That's what they call Mr. Steal Your Girl. You know what I mean?
Seamus.
I mean, I think if I understand correctly, the only reason that he got appointed is because he was, they could promote that they had a non-binary, a member of the new religion in the position.
Kleptolagnia, by the way.
What?
Kleptolagnia.
Lagnia?
That's a Lagnia.
What is that?
Yeah, that's what the state of being sexually aroused by theft. Yeah. So I learned another term that shouldn't have to exist.
The other one we'll talk about in the members only show.
Yeah.
We got a outrageous members only show come up here tonight, having to do with a lot of stuff. If you follow me on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. But we don't say such things on YouTube.
No.
I don't think I even said anything too egregious on Twitter. I guess, but we'll save it.
You stated a fact.
We'll save it. Let's keep talking about the crazy guy who stole the clothes. What did he steal? He said he was ordered to pay over $3,670 to the owner of a bag.
He stole some one of a kind stuff that a lady had made. She made her own clothes and stuff, and it was like expensive for her to make, and it was one of a kind, and he jacked it. And then I think actually the one on the right there, that the red thing was custom made. Actually, no, maybe even I think both of those.
I think
custom made.
He's wearing these one-of-a-kind artistic modeling pieces. Mm-hmm. Like the clothing he's wearing was designed. He probably stole a bunch of bags and threw away all of the stuff from Kohl's and Old Navy. And then he finds the unique stuff and says, it's basically like returning to the scene of a crime. Like in the movies, and the serial killer is like standing outside the police line, smiling and staring, and they're like, "What's this guy doing? He can't prove anything. What do you do?" Like that's what he was trying to do. And I think it's like what was it? Was it King of the Hill or whatever? Which show was it where? Oh no, Family Guy did it where Lois is stealing everything because she gets excited from it.
Oh yeah,
and then she like puts the cigarette out on her arm, like I'm alive. Like. Instead of skydiving or bungee jumping, this dude steals women's clothing and then wears it on TV.
Lois does have an addictive personality.
And Peggy Hill was a sociopath, like a serious...
She's like a narcissistic sociopath.
Serious,
yeah. She's very into herself.
That's an understatement. She was an evil woman. That character, man. Oof. That's what inspires people like this, I guess, who go around stealing clothes.
Yeah, it's like this dude's from one of those shows. And it's real life. It's like it feels like a thing you'd see on Family Guy, but this is something that actually happened like numerous times.
Yo, he was, as part of an adult diversion, he was required to write a letter of apology, return stolen items to the victim, and complete 3 days of community service. Brinton also agreed to undergo a mental health evaluation.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, because he was facing 5 years in jail. He had to pay $3,670 over a bag he stole in December from the Harry Reid International Airport. He was seen on surveillance footage with a stolen bag in July. At the time of his arrest in Vegas, the Biden admin said the incident of and alleged crimes were non-political, were a non-political issue and refused to comment. In February 2023, a Houston-based fashion designer publicly accused him of stealing her bag from Reagan National Airport. In 2018, Isa Kamsen wrote on Twitter that she had lost a bag containing custom outfits after traveling to D.C. to display her designs at an event. After Brinton's thefts were reported by the media, Kamsen said she recognized her items in the images of Brinton, filed a complaint with police in Houston, and was subsequently contacted by the FBI. Well, at least they're doing something, I guess. You know, if anything, they're stopping this guy from stealing clothes.
Yeah.
They're also suppressing information.
But why, like, so if he already got arrested and charged, what's the current arrest for? He was taken into custody May 17th at his home in Maryland at the request of the Metropolitan Washington Airport. He was taken to the Montgomery County Detention Center and held overnight in prep for an appearance before Judge Victor Dalpino on May 18th, which was today. He is being held without bond. Yo, that's like really close to here.
Just like
that's like a few miles
just
away.
like, can you imagine being a grown man and being forced to write an apology note? It's like the worst thing I've ever heard. Did you have to write it 50 times on a chalkboard? I will not steal women's luggage. I will not steal women's luggage. I will not steal. That's
weird,
a
dude.
tough one.
Man, I can't wait for
Take
the
the-
next
take
big
the prison
story that
time,
comes
you
out of
know?
this, you know.
For sure.
Sitting like, I am so sorry for.
I mean, it's like 30 some odd miles away from here.
Wow, no
That's like relatively close. I guess we're super close to DC, so it's not surprising.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right by. It's right by. Who's that member of Congress who lied about me and everybody else on the January 6th committee? Raskin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's right by there.
The designer that he stole from, I can't pronounce that.
Thompson?
Kamsen?
Kamsen? I don't know. That's what it is. Is that?
Asaya Kamsen.
Kamsen.
One. Yeah, and I mean, she's still out there doing stuff, and she makes cool stuff. But man, he got himself into a pickle.
Has anyone
One of a kind stuff.
Has anyone gone through any of his other photos and like try to track down
Yeah.
his clothing? I think someone did actually. I think someone. That's how they found some other stuff.
No way.
Yeah, they were like,
oh
looking at
my
other photos of him.
gosh.
Yeah.
He definitely has more.
The adults are back in charge, as they say.
That's the crazy thing. It's like that what they say is always the opposite. I know. The adults are back in charge, and they're clearly not. Pete Buttigieg isn't even. Oh, did you see that that article about Pete Buttigieg that said that
yes.
he was a genius?
Yes.
And a bunch
What?
of other crazy. I should pull this one up.
Did you guys remember in the 2016 election, like right towards the end there, right before it was time to vote, you got all of these people claiming, all these people in the media saying, oh yeah, like I know people who worked with Hillary. They said she's super nice. It was like, that's really weird that this is the first time I'm ever hearing it. And I heard it like 5 times on the radio in the last week.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, look, the media has been in bed with the Democrats and with the Clintons and probably the Obamas and stuff for the better part of at least a decade.
Yeah.
So for them to just say, oh, hey, this is the person that we endorse and run propaganda. Another thing, there was a law that prevented the federal government from propagandizing the American people, and that was repealed in one of the NDAAs when Barack Obama was in office. I think it was like 2011 or something like that. But there used to be a law that said the government cannot propagandize the American people. That law gets repealed in the NDAA. Next thing you know, social media companies are doing their best to shove whatever the Democrat Party wants down people's throats.
And actually, they feel obligated to, right?
I mean, probably.
And because they felt so bad that Trump got elected. They just needed to make sure something like that didn't happen again.
Yeah,
I blame CNN. Jeff Zucker.
among other things.
They were so obsessed with them. They did us all the favor. and gave him free $5 billion in free press coverage. And so now they're terrified. Their ratings are lower than Newsmax because they don't seem to get it. If you want to be a member of the cult, you got to be a full-fledged member of the cult.
Yep.
But you can't try and be a cult member and a journalist because then
They don't though.
but they had Donald Trump on a town hall. They had the front runner for the Republican Party on TV, and they debated him, and that was not good enough.
Yeah.
And so they're losing audience members for doing so.
Yeah.
Look, CNN, you want to be in the cult, be in the cult. If CNN reported real news, they would have tremendous ratings. Could you imagine if the entire time CNN existed, they were pushing back on Russiagate lies? They were saying like these reports are not true. There's no evidence to suggest it. Then people would be watching them.
And all they
They'd
had
be
to
competing
do,
with Fox News.
all they had to do was tell the truth, right? Like you could tell an unbiased, true, like factual story. The way that Donald Trump was covered for his entire presidency, once he got into office, if you covered any other president in the same way with that much negative press, you're going to have a population that believes that he is evil because the average person doesn't spend the time necessary, and they shouldn't. Honestly, they should go out and do things with their lives and live their lives, but they don't spend the time necessary to really dig down and be like, well, this isn't true that they said, and that isn't true. There's so many people that still to this day believe that Donald Trump, the very fine people lie about the Unite the Right rally, the way that he was talking about it. There's still people that believe that, and that's probably what your average low information voter thinks.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.